Ladies and gentlemen, been a couple of days since I've done this myself, but we are here with Algeria and Mark II. Mark II consists of Leo, Geo, Danny and Unholy. Algeria consists of Ciccolini, Mokhtar, and I believe Syfax is subbing in for Machov on this occasion. I will share Leo Geo's stream into my stream shortly, just so you can have a POV of one of the teams. But I am just going to quickly focus in and get this shared into the chats. But I hope you're doing very well. Hello Albo, and I will be back in chat in a minute, so do get your hellos and stuff in. And we will get on with that once I have it shared. Now, I have figured out how to get it shared last in the PlayStation app. You do have to tap the flashing line when you're on the create your message bit. YouTube, unfortunately though, it doesn't yet let you share it straight from the YouTube app. You have to grab it from your web browser to grab that link. Oh, it's not good. It's not that good. Oh, nothing. Okay. Right, paste. That symbol. Okay, yeah, I'll grab both Ciccolini's and Leo's when that time comes. There we go. Just asking if Syfax is subbing in there for Machov. Machov was the announced team, but teams have been allowed to grab themselves a bit of a backup just in case. Like that is the day they have to do it on, sort of thing. There is the flexibility to pop in and grab somebody should it be needed. We are in the playlist. It does, yeah, I am correct. Syfax definitely is a sub for Machov for Algeria. So, Algeria's lineup is Ciccolini, Mokhtar. I don't want to murder that name. It looks really nice name, but I don't want to murder it. Sahari? No, you see. And Syfax. And then Mark II is Leo, Geo, and Holy, and Danny. And I would like to take the time to thank both teams for putting teams together and getting themselves involved in the competition. I know both of these teams were quite eager. They were well before the final calls for teams. Have a look through the track running order. Wall climb, obviously, the chosen track pick. Okay, Syfax is Machov. Yep, okay, so let's get that tidied up. Syfax is Machov. Little bit of lag there displaying on Leo's car. But he's pulling himself right up in second place. Really tidy line. That lag betrayed the line he truly got. And Holy has got a nice lead, holding it, but Leo taking the stronger boost line, closing in heavy and just swinging into the lead. It's a good battle for the top here. We're going to pop back to Chick and catch the top three's action really as we go at the moment. Chick really not too far behind. He has just fallen behind Mokta. Mokta hasn't got spectator on, so unfortunately will not be able to spectate on Mokta. Being a little bit newer to the scene, maybe just not ready for the pressure. You can see just popping into second and first, battling for the lead. Clean the aggressive line, it's good, it's high up and closer to the tube. Top of three, just inching away ever so slightly. Mokhtar in second between Unholy and Leo Geo. Leo with a tight line through the corner, nicely onto the curbs, just pinches himself second. Ciclini, slightly cleaner line as well, closing in on Machov there. On Mokhtar, sorry. Syfax and Danny a little bit further back at the moment, but really not too far. Syfax really close to being up. Ciclini's ass. Ciclini just undercutting the jump a little bit more on the back tyres. If he'd just pointed the nose down ever so slightly more, that'd have been a really nice, clean, low cut to keep and hold his position. I'm going to pull up the YouTube chats now. Sorry about that. Everything just getting settled into streaming mode. Oh God, why is the volume on? Nice. Be well up for giving that a go when you feel you're good with it, Albo. You give me a shout when you're in the party. We'll give that a little look, or send me the link and I'll get it tested. Who's that Octa? Now, stop it. That has all been cleared up. Me and Mokta have cleared all of that up privately. And like I did say in the chat, I do think it's a bit unfortunate it did go the way it was. I do believe there was a bit of translation issue. But as I did point out in the chat, maybe just a little bit too new to be criticising some people who have been around as long as they have been and stuff like that, and calling them bad and stuff. And like, I think it came across worse with the translation, but Tyrese is by far a long way from a bad racer. In fact, we all know him to be very good. On his day, he has been able to get a playlist against the likes of Nacho. He's won races against the likes of Jack and such. He's got really good times across the board, very consistent. People just don't yet know who Mokhtar is in general across the whole stunt racing community. The Latino side of the community may know him a little bit more, being a Spanish speaker and having met them first. But let's run through everybody. We've got Crayon, hello my man. We've got Alex, Heredia. We've got Mobbin, we've got New Boys, and my man Albo. Not missing anybody out there, am I? No, I'm not. Lovely. And Rocket League, Albo, maybe at some point or another, if some of these stunt racing guys that I'm comfortable with commentating on have a little pop onto it, teach me a little bit about the mechanics and all that sort of stuff. Like, I know a bit about like the wave ride, like where you rock side to side and it seems to give you a bigger boost if you know them sort of mechanics and all that, just so I can understand it a bit. Could have a little look. but Unholy and Leo Geo are leading the way. Mokhtar, really nice, a strong performance, will be surprising some people here. The people behind him at the moment are also known to be good racers in Ciccolini, Danny. And again, I'm not quite so sure on Syfax, haven't come across him too often. I have raced him before he changed his name and he wasn't maybe quite at the pace he's at now, but you can clearly see putting up a relatively good fight with Danny, not too far behind on the mini-map. And it really does show that it really doesn't matter if you are a good high-level talented racer. Like, it won't take you long to step up to a good standard, be able to challenge for positions, have a good time racing, and then if you're, say, my level, it takes a little bit longer, a little bit harder work. You need to maybe wait for them higher frames on PlayStation 5 to fully put all that work into action, because it'll feel that little percentage or two slower, so you're able to react that little bit better to certain situations. And Albo, you don't rush it, you do it when you're ready, and we'll do it one day when you're in the party. Yep, that's what I'm saying. One day when you're in the party, or if you are fully ready with it and unable to get in the party, just make it public for half an hour and let me play it. I would obviously I'd prefer to do it with you there, with it being your track creation. But yeah, that is the transform race idea that I had a rough idea from. Me and Mobbin had a little rough chat about it, but Mobbin slightly concerned about the cars, but me and Albo are going to do a bit of testing on that and see if we can work out whether we just need to change car positions in garages and such for then the people that are interested in doing the transform version of these races, because it is Rockstar inspired or taken from the Rockstar cuts for this first one. But to make sure we get our off-roads and stuff in the right order and perfect Albo. Yeah, I'll be on tomorrow. I won't be on till 7 PM though, I've got work. But that was a good, a strong performance on this race from Mark II. They did take the 1-2, Mokhtar and Ciccolini 3rd and 4th, Danny 5th, Syfax in 6th, no DNFing. So the points will be as they stand so far. I do have my notepad up just to make sure I do make any point differences if they come up, if there is a DNF, just to make it 4 rather than 0. I'm very quickly going to check my PlayStation message with this group just to run through the tracks. It was all discussed this morning very early for me because there was a bit of a misunderstanding, a bit of a miscommunication, and it ended up being 12 hours later where I was able to do it. I fell asleep while they were discussing it between themselves and Butch, and again, massive thank you for Butch for being willing to step in, lad. Apologies for, and I'm sure Danny has apologised as well, being the one who was arranging it with you. He's a good lad. Let's see where Butch came in, because that'll be a good place. There we go. So we've got Pires, Big Drop, Spinner for Mark II. So we've seen Spinner from Mark II, H200, Liftoff and Rally for Algeria. We are on H200. So this is Algeria's home pick. We've got Unholy, Syfax, Mokhtar, Leo. The top 4 will sit with Syfax for a minute as he pulls into the lead ahead of Unholy Code. Good speed over the jump, but Danny just pulling back into the lead. Was that Leo or Unholy getting just a little rough against the barrier? A couple of people playing it safe and wide on the first lap. See someone going into the water, I believe. Yeah, it was. Mokhtar, fortunately, did apparently need the respawn. Got it off nice and quick though. Did see that splash of the water. It is a very high speed cut, and doing it first lap in these high pressure situations is a thing to get used to all on its own. Cyfax has my colour, lovely. Yeah, that's what we'll do. I think it, because my Krieger and Emirates, the off-roads and sports on PC, are the opposite way round, so I think it must be to do with the order you buy them and then upgrade them. So it'll be the order they are in your garages, so we just then need to swap your GTO around, so off-road with your sport one in your garages, if that makes sense, Albo. I think that would fix that. If it doesn't, then it might be a bug with the transform races, in the sense that they just pick any random car. But we are going to move a bit forward through the action. I'm going to focus on in. Leo, a lovely dark, royalish blue. It's a mid blue. It's a mid royal blue. I really do like that colour. Nicely into the tube. Nice, don't appear. Dummy nicely in second, and Holy holding first. Mark II putting in a really strong performance again. This isn't their track, but again, no mean feat to the guys behind. Is you've got certainly in Cyfax and Mock to their first competitive, real competitive tournament situation. It is a bit more of a friendly one, as we have said. Not quite as serious as your 1v1s and some of the competitions that have come in the past. It is a little bit more fun. But still, there is that competitive edge. You want to do well, you want to compete and potentially win. Yeah, that blue is really nice. It's like a proper royal blue. It's the only way I can describe it, like a dark sky blue. And all three making the wise decision here, in my eyes. It's all three behind, feeling like they have. You can see the quick snap of the dot on the minimap. One of them has had to reset behind. It looks like Cyfax made it through clean, and Ciccolini did need the respawn. Oh, Leo just runs a touch wide into the tube. Yeah, there are a lot of rough little bumps and stuff everywhere. Ciccolini really unfortunate there with the barrier. We've seen a 1:30.2.78 from Unholy there, really bringing that time down. But all the times across the board really are not bad at all. Honestly, I do believe personally anything below that 1:40 is getting towards a decent time, and then getting lower and lower, getting further into the good to great category as you then get down to that 1:24 world record time, just setting you far above the rest. Unholy is very strong. Like I've discussed it a few times on stream. Unholy is, in my eyes, at the moment one of the most improved. It was only 6 or 7 months ago. me and that kid were racing for our lives against each other, yet now he's stepped up, so he's that clear level or two above me. He's a lot cleaner, much more consistent, able to handle his speed. It's more the way I'm able to race on PC. I really struggle with, like, somebody has mentioned to me that it may be the latency of my TV, but I'm not an excuse maker. I'm used to my TV. It's just the TV I play on. But again, there were no DNS, so the points are just as they stand. We see a big lead at the moment forming for Unholy. 15 points from both of the races, so a 6-point lead minimum. And we are heading in to Big Drop. This is Mark II's second choice. He's showing us still at H200 at the moment, but I can assure you that this is a big drop. We're going to see loop ahead. A 42 in this. 42 in this is insane, Albo. I'd say a 50's good. 55 it is a 2-0 at the moment, and the scores when they next pop up at the moment, unless we have any DNS critics, are exactly as they stand. There's been no DNS yet. Like a 42's like really good. It's like, depending if it's high or low, it's world record. Oh no, I think 43 PlayStation record by Redkio. 43.2 critics. You're good at that. You know numbers well. Ciccolini runs a little wide. Reds has a 42, yeah. Haley's, I think that's how. No, even if it's the 43.03 Albo, it's a really good time, lad. Like, you know it is. Hey Prestige, how you going, fella? Nice work on the streets. And yep, new boys with Red has the 43. 42. Yeah. 42.762 from Redkio. Really nice, Redkio. Now, let me crack on and do a little bit more housekeeping. We see Unholy leading the way, Syfax, Ciccolini, Leo, Danny, followed up by Mokta on the long straight. Now, also, Mobbin is streaming the Sunday Fun Day Crew PL hosted by Goat. Is open to all, so in the future do keep your eyes out on that too. That is GG Mobbin. We also had Jack and Razza both did attempt to stream. Jack managed to complete it. Ryan's internet just not playing too friendly, lagged him out after the second race, but did join Jack on the commentary table. And a big thank you to both of them, so please head over to their channels, check that out, give them a little bit of support. Ryan as well, potentially one to watch for a future commentator spot. Took to it like a duck to water. But I am just going to grab a Leo Geo stream and Ciccolini's and get them shared into my chat. Okay, nice smooth line, just clipping the corner of the boost, took a little tiny bump, has lost a position to Leo. Again, Leo, a strong performer. It is going to see Unholy, Syfax and Leo making out the top three, allowing Mark II to just ease away that little touch more. Oh, where's the... Okay. I don't know why I didn't pull spores. But yeah, in critics, the points are, with there having been, I don't believe, unless there was in that race, any DNFs, the points are exactly as they stand at this point. So it is Mark II with quite a strong lead. Ciccolini did just manage to creep back into third. So it will have taken just a couple of points away from Unholy's strong lead, but you can see they have got the top three. Syfax and Ciccolini there putting in good work to just try and shorten that damage. And we are in to rally. Danny, is this the Clash GT? An unusual selection, but maybe comfortable with the car, feeling like he can do some good work. You can see the acceleration doing some good stuff, pulling him into the lead. We are going to pop that back at the moment. We'll sit with Ciccolini for now, Matt Black on the car, and Holy just falling to last. And Ciccolini coming through past Unholy and Leo, but Ciccolini just having to feather a little bit more at the exit of the corner, costing himself that exit speed. Everybody nice and tidy, a little bit rough off the wall, but no Clash GT maximum 312. But is it a safer 312 potentially, Rez? Hey, Azzy boy, how you going, fella? We've got Danny, Syfax, followed by Mokta, Leo, Gio, and Holy and Ciccolini pulling up the rear at the moment. But you can see really not too far behind, really close in on the action. Danny, the only one with a clear advantage at the moment. Was that Leo? It was Leo just coming into contact with the spinner. Ciccolini misses the checkpoint, allowing Leo and Unholy to come back. Mokta as well appeared to need to respawn, I believe, having gone back a lot later, or maybe all of them missed the checkpoint. I am not overly sure. Danny is still holding the lead. You can see making his way through the second hairpin, exiting it as Ciccolini enters. Syfax and Ciccolini making up the top three. Leo and Holy followed then by Mokta making out the race. Yeah, he's at the moment, Albo, Azzy is having to play one-handed, having had an operation He needed an operation anyway, so I believe that he's ended up having the operation combined with him having his bones reset after breaking his arm. So he's had both a bit of tendon work done and his bones reconstructed, or put back together properly, not properly like reconstructed, but you know what I mean. So he's in a cast and all that sort of stuff. He might be able to tap X, but he's had to move his accelerator on to L2 and his handbrake is L1. Ciccolini, tidy line. Danny holding the lead, nice and tidy ahead, able to control Flash. Maybe knew that he had a pace in the Flash around here. But yeah, I've like, and just to clear any of that up from last night in the global stunt racing chat as well, like I have chatted to Mokhtar today. I do honestly believe in a way that he, as much as it comes across as a little bit too aggressive, it is maybe down to the translator that he is using and it's not coming across quite as jokey as he actually means it. And hopefully stuff like that will calm down as we all get to know him a little bit better. We've had a really decent chat today. And hopefully he will just learn to bite his tongue, let his speed do the talking. Mercedes Griffin, if you want to add me on PlayStation, it does take yourself getting down to some reasonable times before you get invited into the main chats, but you can certainly get yourself invited to races. My PSN is Starstrider-Fox, same as my YouTube. Do feel free to send me a little friends request and I'll get you added after the event. I'm on PC as well, so get me added on PC, just take out the dash. It's different chats and stuff, but I can get you meeting the right people, Mercedes. Don't you worry on that. But there we go, a nice tip from New Boys. When he broke his own hand, he duct taped the controller to his cast, allowing him to then just hold it still, not having to move it in the cast and not then have to hold it for support with the left hand. A heavy bit of lag there displaying on Unholy's car. Oh, perfect, Mr. Diamond White. Yeah, you're quick as shit. Yeah, I'll get you introduced to all of the guys. Foster's, who was in the lobby with us last night, is the dude you'll want to have a little chat with next time you come across him. You got that Cedric in the crew, Fash chat and that. And Holy, a bit of a rough entry, exit from the tunnel. But yeah, Mr. Diamond White, a nice fast lad on PC. Somebody, oh, a little bit drunk last night, and Diamond, it wasn't my best night of racing. I couldn't put down my speed quite as regularly as I could, but you're somebody that I could see myself having some very good races with over the coming weeks and months. Move back to church just because the internet does seem nice and smooth. Oh no, man, you're quick. You are just straight up quick as well. Like, you were in the mix. I don't think you came below top 5, and it was a pretty decent, like, 8 races, and then the rest were made up of random. It looks like Syfax has had a lag out incident. Now, the way we will we can potentially handle this is I'll have a little glance back on my stream to see exactly where it was he lagged out, and we can potentially position him there. He was in 5th. But no, in general, these guys are that little level above me as well. At the very least, they know the lines a little bit cleaner, nice and tidy. Like this, I'd say, is a little bit more towards the newer side of the generation of the stunt racing community. These are the guys that some of the top guys talk about wanting to step up, and we're seeing that with the likes of Unholy recently getting himself a world record. Danny as well, pushing really hard in off-meta tyres and such, getting really low times. And I know that the top guys do keep their eyes on people, and if they can keep their respect in tow, everybody does get the respect they're due and their fair chances. Just don't try and bite the apple or bite off too much too soon and demand the respect before people have had a chance to notice you, is the way I'd explain it in the nicest possible way without trying to sound rude or anything. What do I owe you, Albo? We'll see whether I agree to these stipulations. But I will let Danny and Ciclini and Leo and that sort out between them how they'd like to handle this, but with it being the way it was, maybe we could either award like 5th place points to both Leo, or Leo's points, and just 2 5th place points, or the 6th place with where the lag out situation was. Danny has done a fantastic job holding the pressure, holding the lead, carrying some good weight, and Holy 2 just behind Ciccolini, making a bit of an uncomfortable sandwich for Chick. A really nice landing boost there from Unholy. Got a clean drive through a bit of a buck up through the loop skip. Syfax has managed to get himself back into the lobby, so there'll be no issues with him. I don't have Bogdan's elbow, but I'm sure we can hook you up with one. Happy to let you have the race wins. Holy, a nice fast exit, good distance, carries the pace forward. Yeah, I'm sure we can get you hooked up with the Bogdan for a D8. And like I say, I'll quite happily let you have the 44 wins, Albo. I'll let other people have it. And my PlayStation record is not something I'm too heavily invested in. I'm quite, you know, I was relatively proud of my old one. The fact that I'd reached 2,000 wins before 10,000 losses. And in like general communities that were a higher level than I was always at the time I was racing, so doing not too bad amounts of work. But nah, I like the higher frames, if I'm honest. 151.131 does see Danny pinch his way back up in 2nd place, completing the top 2. Like I say, maybe with Leo having come 5th, we can just double that position out, so it would be 7 points awarded to Syfax as well. And what I can do is go back in the stream to the past race and add that on. Me on PlayStation, it does take
God.
I don't like hearing my own voice. Right, let me just grab Syphax's points here. We are in to lift off. So, that was 4. We are on to lift off. Nice cut from Danny, got that really low, does take the lead. That was so clean, just got the nose of the Krieger up and over the top. You can see him pointing the nose down, even though I hadn't quite got my camera angle set. The most efficient. Gets himself over the jump, nice and tidy. Chick having just caught a little bit more speed and some higher revs on that mid portion. Just did take the lead briefly, but pulls in to the lead again, carrying slightly better corner speed, cuts across the narrow portion, but again, Chick maybe caught that brake boost on the middle section of the little straight. Danny's going to have to put in good drive now to pull back a bit of speed. Chick just extended away ever so slightly through the loop line too, but Danny bricks, but not as badly as Chick. Both of the leaders brick heavily, and it does allow Unholy, Leo and Mokhtar to come on pass. That does give the lead heavily now to Mark II again in this race, with the positions having swapped. And now make out top 2 positions. Danny with the chance still to potentially close enough of the distance on Mokhtar to make it a 1, 2, 3. So Syphax was down to 38, he'll make that 4, 5. Four. There we go. That has managed. He's pulled a little bit too far to the right. And that is where that slight lacking of experience really does bite. Really unfortunate for Mokhtar. Just not quite handling the pressure. Cotto, how dare you beat my high score? Just not quite yet handling the pressure, Mokhtar, but using, and as we have discussed, just using these opportunities to allow people to see the improvement The score for Mark II is looking really nice and strong. We've got all the scores of the Syphaxes, who you need to add 45 or 38 points to, but I'm doing the maths off screen as well, are correct. So the top three are Unholy, Danny, Leo in the playlist, and then followed by the Algeria team. So Mark II putting in very good work. Unholy and Danny and Leo all showing their good speed and applying the pressure to the likes of Ciccolini, Mokhtar and Syphax. Again, just to clear that Syphax is Machov. I will get that changed on the poster. And like I say, any of the teams that do get knocked out, if you would like me to help arrange any other matches, do feel free to get in contact. If I am free, or if any of the other commentators are, obviously we'll get it commentated on too, but the preference will have to go to the active side of the tournament, and then the 1v1 as well from my side and perspective at the moment. But it's a way we can like have a bit of an unofficial losers bracket for this one tournament and make use of the teams a little bit more if you guys do have the time for it. Danny just pulling into the lead. We are going to go back. I would go back to Mokhtar, but unfortunately unable to spectate. I will have a little chat with him about fixing that in the future. Haven't spent too much time sat on Holy. It's a nice dark matte red on the car. Holy through the stop strips, really nice, stealing first place. He really burst through that. Danny got there, I'd say a good half a second before him, and he just popped straight on through to take a slightly higher line through the tube. You can see Danny making good use of the tyres he uses, getting better boosts off the curb. And Holy, it was lag. I was worried then. You could hear I had gone silent. I was worried for my young racing buddy. We are going to pop off and spend a bit of time on Syphax and just allow Unholy's internet Krieger higher lap time potential, Emirates more consistent. In my experience from PC as well, and from, if you have a look at Nako Back's channel, he did upload a time in a Krieger on wall climb, and it's faster than his PlayStation time by quite a long way. He feels that the Krieger is quite a lot faster, and like significantly percentage wise, like it has a bigger increase due to the higher frames and stuff, so you may see that change on PlayStation 4 with the Krieger potentially becoming the more dominant of the two. But the Emirates is still used, it is still very competitive, a lot of people still prefer it, so I think it is just a preference thing. It's where what you know the gear changes in, so you're able to short shift. Wall climb, it was a 211. I think he's averaging like a 212, high 212, 213 on PlayStation. But it isn't just, I think he matched the frames as well. I don't think he fingered. Nako back is somebody that knows the likes of Fernie, Ventura, Spawny and that side of the community. Yeah. Like the Emirate seems to suit certain tube exits and is a bit more comfortable for me around wall rides. But again, I think it is down to, like, I think the two cars realistically are really so closely matched that if you are somebody that can get them or close to the maximum out of the cars, you could be on for getting world records still on most of the tracks, I think. Like, if you're able to get the maximum out of the short shifts, out of brake boosting, the tube boosts, like the start boost, the mid-drive boost, everything, like, I think there is still good little, like, I say good, but like bits of time that can be shaved off, combined with perfect lines, because like the other day we saw it in one of the 1v1s. Off the top of my head I can't quite remember who it was, but on Green Machine we saw in the two different tubes the guys had, I think it was Trilsy and Luke, they had two different lines in both of the tubes. Luke's was much stronger in the first tube and then Trilsy's was much stronger in the second. And it ended up with them being neck and neck. If they combine them two lines together, or the first person to combine them two lines together, what time's that? Because they're both getting 28, 29. Well, that's what, 27? Low? Who knows? Like, we all hit as close to perfect as we can, and then it's hard to adjust onto the other lines that other people are getting slightly better while you learn that transition line in between. But again, Mark II putting in some fantastic strong performances, handling the pressure. We've seen a couple of mistakes from Syfax and Mokhtar. Holy just entering first. That was more tube line, I believe. Hey, Tyrese. And that is the race drawing to a close. This was the final race. We have seen a Ty now bite the tongue a little bit. He's still got more points than I got. Like, all he maybe needs to do, just a touch, is learn to bite his tongue for just a second. Just let himself settle into the community a bit, let people learn his humour. As I did say earlier, I do think he was just trying to have a little bit of banter, but it comes across a little bit wrong through the translator. And with him not knowing the language, like, it was still a bit inexcusable how off the wall he went last night. But as long as he handles stuff going forward properly, he's got good high potential. Like he has said, he's not been in the community long and he's already putting in some good lap times. He's maybe just biting off a little bit more than he can chew. And I have advised him to maybe just be respectful to people, whether he thinks they're above or below his level, because it's just a little bit disrespectful to go shitting on people who you do believe are below you all the time. Just going to grab the final scores and I'll give a proper run through. So we've got 93 points for Unholy, getting very close to the 100 mark. We have 78 for Danny, 67 for Leo, 60 for Chick. Syfax didn't finish the race, so we won't see his points increase from 51. Oh no, he does. It does go up to the 55, but that does only take him to 55, seeing the 4-point increase. And we see Mokhtar on 52. Does come bottom of the playlist on this occasion, but he is, I believe, the newest in the community of the 6. I will get these scores posted in the chat. Yeah, it's all over this one, Albo. There was only 7 races and the 1 playlist on this occasion for this tournament. 3 tracks per team and then the 1 selected just in case of the tiebreaker situation. But as we've always seen since commentary started, we very, very rarely see people leave. They like to race it through, get the commentary throughout, etc. But I would like to say a massive, massive thank you to everybody for coming on by. It's always a pleasure. Mr. Diamond White, it's lovely to see you swinging by to a PlayStation stream, and I look forward to racing you again soon. I should be on tonight if you're around. GG all, thanks Fox, thank you for streaming it Fox, no worries guys, GG's, and again a huge GG's to all. And again, I hope everything does settle down, people settle in to the community nicely, and stuff can be laid to rest. Right, ladies and gentlemen, everybody, thank you all again, and goodbye!